We just witnessed the most terrifying thing about the Nuggets, but what does it mean for Game 7? Bench players stepping up, Jamal Murray fighting through, and Jokić doing Jokić things today on Nuggets Digest. What's up, Nuggets Nation? My name is Stuart Hicar, basketball fan, Colorado native, and just a generally trustworthy person, the kind of person who would store the spare key to your apartment in my apartment, so if you ever got locked out, you could get back in. Just a trustworthy, solid dude, you know? And before we get into talking basketball today, there is something I need to bring to your attention, which is very worrying. Did you know only 2% of you are actually subscribed to this channel, which means that over 98% of you are missing out on the best gosh darn basketball analysis this side of the continental divide? If you like what we do here at Nuggets Digest, hit that subscribe and like button to stay up to date with your favorite Mile High team. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk Game 6, upcoming Game 7, and the big surprises from last night. I think everybody out there in Nuggets Nation was really happy to see such a commanding win. It wasn't a blowout, but it was a game where the Nuggets really looked like themselves. Jokić got to play his style of basketball. He didn't have to go all out on scoring, and that's because other guys were making shots. When you can stretch defenses, especially OKC, out from that paint into the three-point sector because you've got guys from your bench hitting, Jokić has so much more room to work and so much more of an ability to pass that ball out from inside the paint. Honestly, if Jokić is in the paint with the ball, the other team is already in trouble. So to make sure that those guys are shooting, just so he has one less defender on him, he's going to be doubled in this entire series and tripled if we're not hitting shots. So this game was a very, very good marker and hopefully something we can take into Game 7. But let's go ahead and look at some of the stats from the game itself. Two things I want to bring attention to here first. Our first and our fourth quarter. We came out and punched them in the face. We really had a high-energy first quarter, just came out, took the lead, and looked really confident, which I think is exactly what we needed, especially with the rumors that Jamal Murray was dealing with a sickness. I think if we didn't come out with high energy, this was a game we were at risk of absolutely just walking away from. The other thing I want to bring up is that fourth quarter. We've had some really rough fourth quarters in this series, as well as past series, and the Nuggets just stepped up. Defensively, they were locked in. They were playing really, really strong. Of course, the Thunder made the last 2 minutes of this game absolutely hellish stress, but that's the best. That's what they're good at. Their lockdown defense with Cason Wallace and Alex Caruso. They can stretch a minute into an hour and a half in the NBA. It's terrifying to watch, but I'm really glad that we came together, looked strong, and sealed up that game in a positive way. With that said, let's get into these active stats because something you haven't seen in these playoffs a lot. Aaron Gordon with only 5 points. That's a bit of a surprise. He's been a monster throughout these playoffs. And so if he's not stepping up in a game, we need someone else to do it. And luckily, Christian Braun took his spot. Incredible 23-point game. He looked really confident from the three. He looked really confident on the basket. He was pushing that ball up and down the court with a lot of energy, which is exactly what we need from him and our other bench guys. And speaking of other bench guys, Julian Strawther. The Julian Strawther game. If you're a Nuggets fan and you have been watching all season, you probably have in the back of your head like, what about Julian Strawther? What about Julian Strawther? Julian Strawther can sometimes play okay, and you just haven't really seen him in these playoffs. And I mean, honestly, it's made sense in the past. It's not like he's really shown up all that much here and there, but the dude was locked in today. He was absolutely ready. He hadn't played a lot of minutes in these series, but when he got in, he was hot. He took the ball, shot it, no hesitation, and he couldn't miss. It is worth noting he had his tooth knocked out by Lou Dort, I think, in this game, and still put up an enormous performance, just looked so good. This is the kind of stuff that we need, again, to make the game easier for Jokić. His assist stats have been a lot lower in these past few games, and that has to do with how crowded that paint has been. So when guys like Strawther and Brown are shooting lights out, it really helps spread out the OKC defense and gives us an honest chance under the basket. So let's move forward just a little bit. Another big narrative of this game was, of course, Jamal Murray being downgraded to questionable because of a personal illness before the game. He was getting fluids all day. I think had heat packs on his body when he was over on the bench. Dude was definitely sick. And while this wasn't a Michael Jordan flu game, This was a really impressive performance. Murray came out, played really, really fast, played really hot, was hitting some shots from the mid-range that are always those classic Jamal Murray, like, ooh, God, that was wet. That looked really, really good. And it scares the defense, so they have to overreact and overcover, which then opens up your paint, gives Jokić an opportunity to get inside and dish that ball out to who? These guys right here. Our bench stepped up. Peyton Watson on defense, always want to give him a shout out. He's one of the longest dudes in the league. His wingspan is insane. And when you see him block shots from behind, guys, it's like, this is the coolest dude in the world. I want you to make another step next season because I think you're a serious role player who could really help us out. Christian Braun, Julian Strother, I already talked about it. You guys are gods right now. Feel good, take a day's rest, and then get ready to do it again in Game 7 against the Thunder. Along with that, one of the big reasons I think we were able to win this game was that SGA got into foul trouble so early. He had 4 fouls in the first half, which meant that over the second half, he had to get sat a lot more. He wasn't able to be intense on defense. He couldn't really get up in the face, and the Nuggets really, they sought him out on defense, on switches. They wanted him to have to cover because he would have to drop back and give them a lot of room to operate because there's no way he's looking to foul out of this game, not when they need him that much. So let's also take a look at some of what the coach, players had to say about the game and some of the performances. First things first, this is Nikola Jokic's take on Strother's impact. He was amazing. Big points, big moments. I don't think they game planned for that. And you're right. I think the Thunder have essentially taken the idea that, like, hey, we don't have to worry about this bench whatsoever. Let's just get their starters tired, and then we can deal with bad play. And it's been working for them in sometimes. If we don't have everybody on the starters stepping up, then it means our bench has to. And if they can't, it's over for us. So in this case, the terrifying thing about the Nuggets is when our bench clicks and even plays a regular okay game where they just hit shots and aren't nothings on the stat sheet, it means that the Nuggets are an unstoppable championship caliber team. They look so good when their bench players can just contribute a little bit and stretch the defense, as I've been saying. This is SGA on the Nuggets in Game 6. They came out with a sense of urgency and jumped on us right away. They were better to start and better in the second half. Agreed completely. The energy is the biggest thing about this game, and I think Shea felt it, especially sitting on the bench with those fouls. I'm sure that was not too fun for him. And finally, David Adelman on the break before Game 7. We get a full day tomorrow to check out. This has been a marathon. Take a big mental break, take a deep breath, then we dive back in on Saturday and go to OKC. With all that said, I think the biggest thing and a lot of what I think Nuggets fans are worried about right now is rest. I think this is our second 7-game series in a row in these playoffs. I think our third in a row if you count last year. Like, these guys are playing so hard. So what do they need to focus on in Game 7? Well, let's look at 3 main keys to a Game 7 success. First, stay physical. If you can get this team into foul trouble, especially Hartenstein, Holmgren, and SGA, you really have a shot because they're going to play a little more worried and a little more backed up. Their regular style of defense is really physical and really up on you. So if you force them to back it up with a few early fouls, you have a much better shot of getting in rhythm, getting your shot under you, and hopefully winning that game. Bench energy is what we had in Game 6, and it's what we need in Game 7. Keep it up, Strother. Keep it up, Watson. Keep it up, Brown. Keep it up, Westbrook. All of you guys need to keep it up. And finally, Jokić in the paint. If Jokić is in the paint, the other team is already lost in a lot of ways. And so let's get him in there. Let's stretch the floor with shooters, and let's make sure that Jokić gets to play the game he feels comfortable with, which is him at the elbow, tossing a skip pass out to somebody who is wide open because he's tripled or something with half their defense draped all over him. This is a physical game. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be an OKC, so you know it's going to be loud, and you just got to hope that the Nuggets have the playoff experience, the championship mentality, and honestly, just the will to take this thing to the Western Conference Finals. I personally have a lot of faith in this team. They've been here before. I keep saying that, but it's true. And the one thing I have to ask you is, what do you think? Do you agree with my very good takes, or do you want my teeth to be knocked out by Lou Dort? Either one, okay. But just let me know in the comments down below. Join that community and don't miss out on a minute of Nuggets basketball. My name is Stuart Hicar, and this has been another perfect video. Just a 10 out of 10. Fantastic job, baby. Until next time, go Nugs.